You're weak. I'm you.
There you go. I hope everybody's having a good night or day or wherever you're at. And for a majority of Shugoki mains out there, I can say we most likely all picked up this character for the memes, but ended up loving him and falling in love because of his playstyle and looks. He's a fun character. I don't blame people for playing him. He's really fun. And I don't blame people for disliking him because he is very annoying when you know what to do. But I digress. We'll get into that later. So this week's video kind of inspired me by Freeze's video talking about Shugoki, where it was a fat L, as he put it, and that Shugoki was a bottom 3 hero. And I figured since Shugoki's the one Rep 70 I go back to out of my whole roster that I play the most, he holds a dear place in my heart, and he's even a part of my logo on my channel, so I play him a lot, and I know this character inside and out. So I figured I could make my own little opinion on it. Now, Shugoki has always been in a weird spot in terms of metas throughout this game. He's gone from being absolutely broken to dog shit to broken to dog shit. He's been all over the place. It's almost like they can't make up their mind with what they want to do with him. Because old Shugoki was annoying with the passive super armor. He had the one-shot hug, and then we had the other Goki where his headbutt did no damage and he only had hyper armor lights that I remember had frame advantage for some reason. It was really weird. And then we had the Goki where what it is now, except the iframes on his headbutt were ridiculous, and he was a must pick to where he could target swap his chain heavies and do a 360 around him. It was annoying, and I don't blame people for not liking it. It was extremely unfun to fight, but I loved playing him. I always will. However, in this team fighting meta now, after this new update and whatnot, he definitely got hit pretty hard. So for those of you that do not know, if you have a side dodge bash and your opponent dodges it, they will always get a GB every time. That's a blanket change across the board. And then there is the guard change, where if you dodge, your guard disappears. That's a good change because you just can't park your guard in a particular direction and say fuck you to everything. But the biggest hit of them all was that side dodge bash change with Shugoki, as that is what made him really, really strong. You could use it to position in team fights, and if somebody didn't know what they were doing and they tried to GB you after that side dodge headbutt, they would eat a heavy. It was a very strong tool. It was one of his strongest tools outside of his hug gank, but you got a certain Egyptian that does that but better. I'll get to him later. So, in this current meta, you got the abomination of Tiandi running around, you got Zanhu running around, Berserker, you got Medjai, you got all these heroes running around. And they do Shugoki's job, but better. And also in terms of hyper armor. The way I look at it is, why would I play Shugoki when a character like Medjai does a similar gank, but a lot better, that buffs me, debuffs my opponent, and I have some of the best hyper armor in the game, being able to target swap and massive hit boxes that do not leave me vulnerable. Because Shugoki, if you dodge his chain heavy, you get a GB. You can GB Shugoki in his neutral startup of his unblockable. There is a lot of weaknesses associated with Shugoki that these top tier meta heroes do not. Even Griffin has better hyper armor than Shugoki, which surprised me. It has better startup. And that is one of the other issues with Shugoki, is that his hyper armor, when you look at it now, is bad. It starts up very late. He cannot trade effectively. Much like you think a sumo warrior would be able to trade, you might think, oh, he's fat, he's supposed to be slow and clunky. Nah, that shouldn't really make him that really shouldn't mean why that he should be this way. I'm sorry for the stuttering. Just woke up. But if we're going to apply that logic to it, to where if he's slow and fat, he should be GB, then somebody like Lawbringer should be slow wearing all that armor. Don't even get me started on that rework. That thing's an abomination. But these heroes, they just do everything Shugoki does but better, and he's fallen out of place of the meta. And in terms of the comment that he is a bottom 3, I can agree with it. I can agree with it in many regards. As if we put Shugoki in a top level setting with top level players playing him, Shugoki's not going to perform very well. He's going to get absolutely bullied. He's going to get bullied. All these other characters are going to do everything but better. Why would a Shugoki try to trade in a team fight when there's a Medjai swinging around doing more damage too? Fucking Medjai does more damage than Shugoki. And it's ridiculous. And the side dodge headbutt, it's only 10 damage, and if they dodge it, they get a whole GB. They get double the damage. It is very annoying. And I can understand why they did it, because that side dodge headbutt was annoying if you tried to GB, but at the same time, who kept trying to GB that side dodge heavy all the time? Like, who kept doing that? What dev kept getting hit by that all the time? And now it's just, I won't even use the side dodge, the headbutt, to even reposition in a team fight anymore if I know I'm going against a competent player. It's annoying. It's very annoying, and it hurts, but that's where he is right now. He's at the bottom in terms of top level. Now, if you're looking at your casual perspective, your average player, Shugoki's still going to perform very well, and that is with every hero, no matter what the skill level. The moment you go into that top percentile to the competitive setting, that is where you get to really see what makes a character, what makes them good, what makes them bad. But overall, in terms of this, I wouldn't say Shugoki is a bottom 3. I would say he's down there, but not in the 3. Like, he's maybe, like, I would put like a high D, if anything, or low C, just because of these nerfs. And like I said, other characters bully him. Raider bullies him, Medjai bullies him, Zanhu bullies him, Tiandi bullies him. But Shugoki gets bullied, and there's nothing he can really do in this meta. He's fun to play, don't get me wrong, but you're honestly just better off playing somebody else until something happens, or until the other heroes get brought down in line. And I don't like having to nerf a character to make the others better and so forth, or however it goes. I don't like to nerf a character just so that they can compete. I'm always the proponent of, let's buff the characters so that they're up there with everybody else's level, so that everybody can play them no matter the skill bracket or the level that you're in, as annoying as it is. But that's all I got to say on the Fat Man. He got hit pretty hard after this update, and don't run him in a tournament setting, but for your average casual, your average MM, you'll have a good time with him. But remember, there's always Medjai. You can always play Medjai. Medjai is always better than Shugoki. Plays the same with his ganks, has bigger damage, bigger hitboxes, everything. If Shugoki actually worked out and got buff, he would be Medjai. But with that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe to Become a Seal Baby. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch. I stream at 2 a.m. on my off nights. With that being said, subscribe to Become a Seal Baby, and I'll see all y'all in the next one.